all the whole Remy and Pap situation, none of it was true.
I don't have nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been open in all my relationships that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Well,
I mean, I
look.
probably have 4 boyfriends online.
Just, I don't know.
I don't
They
know,
both
man.
nice.
They both
but
nice.
it would have to be new lyrics now. Right? Because Joe can't keep doing Pump It Up.
All right, let's dive straight into this drama because it is thick. You know, when you think you've seen it all in celebrity relationships, somebody always comes along to prove you wrong. And this time, it's the tangled web involving Remy Ma, Papoose, and the boxing queen herself, Claressa Shields. Is Remy really keeping Papoose chained to a marriage he desperately wants out of? Because from the outside looking in, it seems like this man is practically sending up smoke signals for a divorce, and Remy is just not having it. It's gotten so intense that even Claressa Shields, known for throwing punches in the ring, seems ready to throw a few outside of it, just to knock some sense into the situation. And get this, whispers are going around that this whole holdup might not even be about love, but about cold, hard cash alimony to be exact. Now, let's not forget the history here. Papoose stood by Remy's side, holding her name high while she was doing time. But now that Remy's back on top, cashing checks, and was even getting cozy with Easy the Block Captain, who, by the way, already seems to have moved on to younger pastures, Remy still won't let Papoose go. I'm telling you, this saga is reaching peak levels of what in the world is going on, and Claressa Shields is definitely not amused. So buckle up, because we are unpacking all of this mess.
Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? Yeah. See, right there, that's the punchline! That's the punchline!
And speaking of Claressa Shields, let's give credit where it's due. She is head over heels for Papoose, and she is not shy about showing it. Just peep her Instagram on Papoose's birthday. Girlfriend posted the sweetest message that had everyone talking. She wrote, "Happy birthday, King Papoose. So grateful for your life, your laugh, your music, your guidance, your love. You are truly one of one. I pray God bless you with many more years and even quicker hands, because today you're getting all your B-Day punches. Love you. Happy birthday, Papoose." Cute, right? Especially the part about the birthday punches, because let's be honest, those from Claressa might actually leave a mark. But you can tell she's locked in, she's serious about Papoose. Now here's the million-dollar question that's hanging in the air like a bad smell. Why hasn't Papoose put a ring on Claressa's finger yet? Even with all this public display of affection, something's clearly holding him back. And that something, or rather someone, is Remy Ma. She's allegedly playing keep away with those divorce papers like they're the hottest sneakers on resale. But don't think for a second that Papoose hasn't been trying. Word is, this man has been begging, pleading, practically down on his knees asking Remy for this divorce. Not just once, not twice, but multiple times he's reportedly asked her to sign on the dotted line and set him free. But Remy? She's out here stirring the pot, keeping the drama alive, and seemingly enjoying every minute of it.
Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
And this isn't just hearsay, folks. We've got receipts. Remember when Remy decided to air out those text messages between Papoose and Claressa Shields? Oh, the internet went wild that day. The tea was scalding hot. In those messages, Claressa was clearly not pleased that Papoose hadn't even let her know he got home safe after being out. She kept it real, saying, "You are the one who is married. If you can't at least sleep on the phone with me or be with me in person, it shouldn't be a big deal to let me know that you made it home safe." Straight to the point, right? She's showing she cares, she's showing concern. But Remy? Oh, she wasn't done there. Not even close. She escalated things to another level, accusing Papoose of threatening to call the cops on her, and even went as far as claiming she had audio of him getting physical with her. Of course, Papoose vehemently denied all of that. His side of the story? He said Remy's just bitter because he's moved on. And let's throw it back to Christmas 2023 for a quick reminder. Remy was all booed up with Easy the Block Captain. Remember that rap battle where she practically confessed her undying love for him on stage? So, let me get this straight. You're head over heels for a new man, but you're still refusing to let your ex-husband go? Someone please explain the logic here because it's completely escaping me. But hold up, because if you thought that was peak messiness, there's still more layers to peel back. Claressa Shields and Papoose have been putting on a united front, giving off serious couple vibes. They even gave us a glimpse into their romantic life when they took off for a Valentine's Day getaway to Hawaii. Hawaii. Sun, beaches, romance in the air. It sounded like paradise. Pictures surfaced of them soaking up the rays, enjoying the island vibes, just generally living their best lives. And Papoose, ever the businessman, even managed to kick off the very first Hawaii Fest while he was there. Multitasking king, right? Even amidst the romance, Papoose hopped on social media to update everyone, posting, "The show was phenomenal. So many stars pulled up. We're wreckers. This year we made history." Always securing the bag, even on vacation.
Are the most amazing, beautiful, sexy, smart, intelligent woman I ever met in my life. I love you more than anything in the world, as you know.
You don't know if I'll marry you again?
What I want to say is, will you marry me again?
And while Papoose was handling business, Claressa was busy serenading her man. She posted this super sweet little clip of her singing to Papoose right there on the beach. "Just the two of us. We can make it if we try." You gotta admit, it was a little corny, but undeniably cute and definitely real. But here's where the plot thickens. Like, really thickens. Word on the street is that Papoose had this whole romantic Hawaiian getaway planned for more than just sun and fun. Get this, allegedly, the man was planning to make things official. Rumor has it that Papoose was hoping, praying, maybe even manifesting that his divorce from Remy would be finalized before this trip, so he could propose to Claressa Shields on Valentine's Day. Imagine the scene. Hawaii, sunset, romance overload, the perfect proposal setting. It could have been straight out of a movie. But guess who allegedly threw a wrench in those plans? Yep, you guessed it, Remy Ma. And the supposed reason? Apparently, things with her new boo, Easy the Block Captain, weren't exactly picture perfect anymore. So now she's allegedly playing games, dragging her feet, and essentially blocking Papoose from moving on with his life. And let's keep it real, Remy has probably noticed how Papoose is showering Claressa with the same kind of love and support he used to give her back in the day. Remember when Papoose performed at Claressa Shields' boxing match as she made her grand entrance? That's a whole different level of hype and support. And it's gotta sting a little for Remy to see him doing that for someone else. Watching him show up and show out for another woman like that, yeah, that's gotta be a tough pill to swallow.
I want to thank God first and foremost. I've been through a lot. To everybody who think there's no such thing as second chances, I'm here to tell you that's a lie.
But here's the real question swirling around in everyone's minds. Is this all just about Remy being a bitter ex, or is there something more to this divorce drama? Because the way Remy is holding on so tightly, it's screaming, what are you really afraid of losing? Well, new reports are starting to surface, and they suggest that the real reason Remy is allegedly refusing to sign those divorce papers might be all about the money. Specifically, alimony. Apparently, Remy is not trying to cough up any coins to Papoose. See, in a divorce, especially when there's a significant income difference between partners, the higher-earning spouse might be obligated to provide spousal support, or alimony, to the lower-earning spouse. And let's not act like we're new to this game. Papoose was the one holding things down for a long time in their relationship. When courts decide on alimony, they look at a bunch of factors, like the length of the marriage, the income gap between the partners, and the contributions each person made during the relationship. And when you look at Remy and Papoose's history, their marriage wasn't just a short fling. They were together for a solid 11 years. 11 years! They started dating way back in 2004, officially tied the knot in 2008, and their relationship reportedly ended in 2023. And here's a wild fact that often gets overlooked. They actually got married over the phone while Remy was incarcerated back in 2008. If that's not commitment, I don't know what is. Papoose stayed 10 toes down through thick and thin. When Remy was sentenced to prison in 2008, Papoose was right there, unwavering. When she finally got out in 2014, he was still holding it down. They even had a whole vow renewal wedding in 2015 for the world to see. And by 2018, they welcomed their adorable baby girl, Reminisce Mackenzie.
Were you surprised when Papoose wanted to marry you?
After
you got sentenced, because you just knew he was, you just knew he was on it. And I thought that was like a real stand-up thing to do.
He's one of a kind. I could definitely say that.
Now let's be real. Papoose stood by Remy through some of the absolute toughest years of her life. So when we start talking about who deserves support, especially financial support after a divorce, Papoose definitely has a pretty strong case. But let's really dive into the money aspect, because this is where things get extra messy. Remy Ma's net worth is estimated to be around $4 million. $4 million. And baby, that's reportedly significantly more than what Papoose is currently sitting on. So when Remy looks at those divorce papers, she's probably seeing dollar signs flashing before her eyes, knowing that alimony payments are likely on the horizon. A big chunk of Remy's fortune comes from record sales, those reality TV checks, and her own clothing line. And we can't forget about her 2006 debut album, There's Something About Remy, based on a true story. That album was a critical success and cemented her place in the rap game. She might not have reached the mega-stardom of some of her peers, but Remy has always commanded respect and built a solid career. She's been nominated for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist at the BET Awards 4 times and even took home a win. That's not just luck, that's hard work and talent paying off.
Presence, Miss Remy Ma, Mr. Papoose, really the hip-hop's Hollywood couple right now. Y'all need your own show. That's what everybody's...
But let's keep it 100. Even while Remy was locked up, she was still grinding, still active in the music scene in her own way. GSI's dropped several mixtapes from behind bars, keeping her name in the conversation. And guess who was out there tirelessly promoting and making sure those mixtapes translated into some coin? Papoose! He kept her name alive when she couldn't do it herself. He was out here pushing her music, making sure people didn't forget about her, and keeping that money flow going. That's not just being a supportive partner, that's real dedication and real work. And you better believe all that effort contributed to putting some serious money into Remy's pocket, even while she was away.
3-year-old Jason Scott has been arrested in connection to a in Queens that dates back to 2021. Investigators are looking into the possibility that it was a...
So when Remy finally walked out of prison gates in 2014, she and Papoose took their already dramatic love story straight to the small screen with VH1's Love and Hip Hop New York. And it didn't stop there. They went on to star in multiple spin-offs, further cementing their reality TV fame. And guess who was right there, helping secure those checks and negotiate those deals? Papoose. And let's be crystal clear, he wasn't just some background character on these shows. Nah, he was an integral part of the storyline. Their love, their struggles, their family life, all of that was a major reason people kept tuning in week after week. So let's not pretend like Papoose wasn't just as much a star of the show as Remy was. Because yeah, he definitely played a significant role in bringing in those TV checks that added to Remy's overall wealth. And beyond the TV screen, when Remy launched her Remy Ma collection clothing line in 2018, that was another bag secured. A portion of the proceeds went to support women and families affected by incarceration, which was a commendable move. But let's be real, Papoose was out here putting in work for that brand too.
I'm a Pisces, I love really hard. But I'm happy to, love somebody who wanna, love somebody back, you know what I'm saying? He is such a sweetheart. Ain't nobody tell him to tie my goddamn boot either, but he said it wasn't laced right, so he laced it right. It was so funny.
He was rocking the menswear from the collection at events, making sure it got seen by the right people, drawing attention straight to the line. The kind of promotion he was doing, that's the same type of marketing that brands pay big bucks for. So, if we're going to talk about how Remy built her financial empire, we also have to acknowledge how much Papoose was grinding behind the scenes, helping to build that brand and contribute to her success. Now, this is where things take an even deeper, more personal turn. While Remy was incarcerated, her then teenage son Jason Scott was being cared for by Papoose. This man stepped up and played the role of a father figure when Remy couldn't be there. And let's be real, that's a huge responsibility, one he took on without hesitation. But this is where the story takes a truly heartbreaking twist. After Remy got out, her son Jason ended up getting arrested and charged in connection with a 2021 fatal shooting in Queens, New York. He's now facing first-degree murder charges and a whole list of related serious offenses. While that's a tragic situation all around, it really highlights the stability and support Papoose was providing during those incredibly difficult years when Remy was away. He was holding down the household, taking care of her child, and keeping everything together. And that's the kind of contribution you just can't put a price on. So, when we circle back to this divorce and why Remy is allegedly dragging her feet, it's starting to look more and more like she knows Papoose has a legitimate, strong case for that alimony bag. And what about Claressa Shields in all of this? Oh, you already know she is heated over this entire situation. Remy's stalling is directly impacting her own life and potentially slowing down her wedding plans with Papoose. And let's be clear, Claressa Shields is not the type to sit quietly and politely when things aren't moving the way they should. And this isn't just some casual fling between her and Papoose. Claressa Shields is out here loving this man publicly and wholeheartedly. She's calling him her king, her love, her everything. She's not playing games, she's all in. But now, they're stuck in this messy limbo. Claressa can't even take that next step with Papoose because he's still legally tied to another woman. Imagine being ready to start a new chapter of your life with someone, only to be constantly blocked by a huge, immovable roadblock. And to make matters even more frustrating, that roadblock, aka Remy, seems to be lingering in their shadow, stirring up drama and causing chaos at every turn. Let's be real for a second here. Any woman in Claressa Shields' position would be beyond frustrated. She's out here genuinely loving and supporting Papoose, and she's getting dragged into his messy situation with his ex-wife. It's frustrating, it's messy, and it's got to be emotionally exhausting. At this point, you have to wonder how much longer Claressa Shields' patience is going to last before she starts demanding some real answers and some real action from Papoose. But I gotta ask you all, what do you really think is going on here? Do you believe Remy is holding on to Papoose because she still has feelings for him? Or is this all about that alimony check she knows is potentially coming his way? Do you think Claressa Shields is going to stick around and weather this storm of drama? Or is she eventually going to get fed up and walk away, realizing it's all just too much? And most importantly, how long is Papoose supposed to wait before Remy finally lets him go and allows him to move on with his life? I need to hear your thoughts on this whole tangled situation. Drop your opinions in the comments down below and let me know what you're thinking. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash that like button if you're invested in this drama, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an update. And hey, before you go, check out the video popping up on your end screen right now, because trust me, if you think this situation is messy, the next one is a whole other level of wild, and you definitely don't want to miss it.